Hey gang, PT Hilton here. I'm here today to do the top 10 influential books tag. I was tagged by Michael from Bitten by a Radioactive Book, so thank you, Michael. And the tag was originally created by Reed Susie Reed, whose channel I will link to below. I'll link to both those channels below. So the purpose of this tag is to basically list your top 10 most influential books, not say anything or very much about them. I might say a sentence or two about a couple of them, but I'll try to stick to that rule. So when I was putting this together, it was a little tough. I had to keep reminding myself that I'm not picking my 10 favorite books, and I also took the approach of the top 10 most influential to my reading life. There's a lot of different ways this could go. If I did the top 10 most influential to my actual life, it would be different. For instance, I named my daughter after a character from the book Cold Mountain, and I now live in the area of the country that Cold Mountain took place. And while it's not directly because of that, I think when I was considering a job offer in this area, that probably played into it a little bit. So things like that, the books that really influenced my life, this is not that. It's also not books that really influenced my writing life. That would be a different list altogether. These are going to be the books that kind of sent me down a sort of a reading path, one reading rabbit hole or another. So let's go ahead and do that. First up, we've got Hunt for the Red October by Tom Clancy. This was the first book for adults that I ever read, and thankfully they don't allow 10-year-old boys to enlist in the military, or I would have joined up after reading this book. Next, I've got Misery by Stephen King, the first Stephen King book I ever read. Now I've got Danse Macabre by Stephen King. Boy, I don't think I said that right. This is Stephen King's nonfiction book about the history of horror in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and into the 80s a little bit, and it introduced me to a lot of writers who are still my favorites to this day. 100 Bullets by Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso. The Chronicles of Narnia, the very edition I read as a kid. And after I read this, I was very sad because I was sure that I had read all the good books in the world and there were no more good books. And my dad still makes fun of me about that. Nomad of the Time Streams by Michael Moorcock. And really this is representative of his whole Eternal Champion series. Angels and Visitations by Neil Gaiman. The Long Goodbye by Raymond Chandler. Nobody writes a sentence like Raymond Chandler. Bears Discover Fire by Terry Bisson. Still one of my favorite covers and an awesome collection. And finally, Marathon Man by William Goldman. So those are the top 10 books that most influenced my reading life. Thank you for watching, and thank you to Michael from Bitten by a Radioactive Book for tagging me. If you don't watch his channel, you should, because it's awesome. That's all for this time. I will talk to you later. Bye.